I'm optimistic because I look around the National League and I'm saying to myself, like, this is a roster that can win 80-something games and get into the playoffs and sneak in. And it's not about winning a World Series at this point. Right now, this point is showing me that there are a couple of prospects that can come through and change the optimism overnight.
So is that the only way to keep us from not turning the channel in August on the Giants?
No, because I think there's tiny storylines like Logan Webb's emergence, Camilo Duvall's emergence. What ends up happening with David Villar, Joey Bart? You've got Estrada at second base. Like, there are some storylines here. Conforto. If Conforto has a monster year, just hear me out. If he has a monster year, forget retaining him. He's an automatic trade piece. You can get something for him.
See that, and that bothers me.
Why?
A guy who has a big year, and all of a sudden we're talking about trading. You get the philosophy here.
I get what you're saying.
Listen to what you just said there. Listen to what you just said. I want you to repeat it.
Yeah.
Listen to what you just said. Hope in Conforto, because he does have a bat when healthy.
Yeah, 30-plus home run potential.
When healthy, though.
Yeah.
He's never been healthy.
Okay.
I remember having him fantasy baseball 5 years ago. The guy never stays healthy. But if he plays well, we have a trade piece.
That's what the Warriors did in the year that Steph hurt himself. They did that with Burks, and they did that with Glenn Robinson, the third.
They did that with Third, and they did that with D'Lo, but they got Andrew Wiggins and Kuminga.
No, I understand
knowing that they were going to reload with Clay coming back.
That's called doing good business.
Yeah, no doubt. But I'm looking for guys that could be long-term fixtures with the Giants. I'm tired of looking for rentals.
That's what I'm hoping VR,
right.
Camilo Duvall, I'm hoping Logan Webb, I'm hoping Estrada, I'm hoping Joey Bart can be.
That, to me, screams Oakland A's baseball. And that's not what I signed up for.
It's hard for me to argue with that.
Yeah, that's not what I signed up for.
Well, what did you sign up for?
I signed up for a team that's going to build prospects that was promised by Farhan Zaidi. Hey, he's next level baseball. If he was we talked about Farhan a couple years ago, or this market did, as if he was Kyle Shanahan. Mark Willard always says, if Shanahan gets fired, there'll be a line around the room waiting to go hire him. And that's probably true. A lot of people think highly of Kyle Shanahan. The same was said about Farhan Zaidi. Oh, baseball loves him, loves him, loves him, loves him, loves him. And I'm trying to figure out here in 2023 why baseball loves him. I can't even love him on my own roster. Because everything that's happened here, you had the one winning season, but the farm hasn't gotten any better. According to the rankings, which I don't buy, like the rankings or whatever, but still, a lot of people who are inside the prospects and inside minor league baseball, the Giants farm system has somehow gotten worse over the time Farhan has run his club.
I'll tell you why I think people think so highly of him, because he's a cost control guy, and a lot of owners don't like giving out $300 million deals. And he's a guy that's very reluctant to give out those kinds of deals.
That's just sad. Think about that, though. It's just sad that, okay, if this guy plays well, he's a trade piece. I'm not looking for trade pieces. That was just
one of the 7 guys I referenced.
Yeah, but still, no. I'm not getting on you about that. I'm just saying that's the philosophy here. Hey, let's flip this guy for somebody else, knowing that he's on 1-year deals, and you're not going to get a high-level prospect for Michael Conforto.
I think it's more the reality of where they're at right now. They're at the beginning stages, similar to where the Niners were, where they're at the beginning stages of they're just trying to find guys that can be solutions for 5 to 10 years, and in the interim, they're going to keep churning out these 1 and 2 year deals and take flyers on guys, and if they can flip them, great. If they can keep them and sustain them, like Jock Peterson, for example, and keep him here for a couple of years as you make that transition, even better.
So you're saying they're at the stages where the Niners were at in 2017?
It feels like it.
That's sad to me.
Like, going into that 2018
That's sad to me when the president of baseball operations is starting year 5 on the job.
It is sad, but
Lynch,
going into
Lynch and Shanahan were rookies. They cleaned house. They were rookies. They were on the first year on the jobs, and look how they built this bad boy.
And they spent a ton of money in the offseason to get like Pierre Garçon was a retread.
To get some veterans in here to set an example for some of these young players.
Are. So, going into 2018.
But we're in year 5 with Farhan. That was year 1.
I know.
Think about that. This is year 5.
But they did inherit a lot of crappy contracts. I feel like I'm defending Farhan when I'm probably the most out on him.
But they gave Crawford the extension.
Because he earned it, and he was really good, and I want Granite Crawford to retire a Giant. Like, he means something. He's 12 consecutive opening day appearances for him, ties Barry Bonds. So, is he on the level of Barry? No, but he's the greatest defensive shortstop in San Francisco Giants history.
Don't do this,
He
Giants
deserves
for
a
life.
level of respect.
Don't do this, Giants for Life on YouTube. Did Sabian ever win 107 with Kent Barry? Nope. Took him 20-plus years to win. All the Giants did under Brian Sabian was compete year after 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 year. 97 to 03 is one of the best stretches in Giants baseball history in the city of San Francisco.
But when Bonds went away, 2008 and 2009, 2008 was really bad.
It was really bad.
It was really bad. That was a singular year, and they had a lot of young players because they held firm and they didn't trade those guys away in the final years of Barry Bonds.
Exactly. And then they were able to reload, and 2 years later, they were competing for World Series. Just like that.
I know.
Just like that. So I don't want to hear any comparisons to Brian Sabier right now. Farhan's done nothing to earn that. He hasn't. You're listening to 95.7 The Game, KGMZ, FM, and AC1 San Francisco, always live on the free Odyssey app. Download the Odyssey app and favorite 95.7 The Game for the best and most up-to-date sports coverage. Here's what I don't do. As a sports announcer, as a radio host, I try not to be fake at all. I don't like being fake. I don't like fake people. I don't like fake optimism. I can't do it. I can't do it. But also, I don't want people to say, hey, man, you're being negative. And I'm optimistic about baseball being played, and I'm keeping an open mind about the Giants game to game. And I want to see where this goes. Honestly, I want to see what Farhan does with the farm system. I want to see what Casey Smith looks like. I want to see if Harrison gets called up. I want to see this team compete. I want to see this rotation that everybody says is the deepest rotation in San Francisco in years. I'm open-minded about that. But you can't tell me to be, hey, I need you to be optimistic after that offseason. I'm sorry, I can't. I can't.
Well, and I think it was interesting. We were talking about this as a crew yesterday, just like about the Giants offseason. Let's say that you didn't pay attention at all. You were in hibernation for offseason, Bonte. Let's say you're in hibernation. You didn't know anything about Judge. You didn't know anything about Correa coming, not coming, failing a physical, bouncing. You just woke up this morning and you looked at the team. The year ended last year. You look at this year. They are a better baseball team on the field. I don't know about pitching. That's TBD. But on the field, they're a better baseball team today. They had Luis Gonzalez out in the outfield last year, and Slater was an everyday player toward the end of last year, and Yastrzemski. Right now, they got Mitch Haniger. Eventually will be coming back. He's an everyday player. And they got Conforto. He's an everyday player. Those are upgrades. Those are big upgrades. Upgrades defensively. Those are upgrades offensively. And those are upgrades that are going to help your entire lineup, and that's going to put guys in a better position in the lineup because we had too many guys batting miscastly, if you will, in the 3, 4, 5 slots. All right. At the end of last year, Brandon Belt at first base, he couldn't move. He was a great Giant. He had a great run. The guy literally couldn't move. His knee gave out on him. I believe that the combination of J.D. Davis, Wilmer Flores, Jock Peterson, and Lamont Wade at first base is an upgrade over what we had last year of Brandon Belt. Second base, Estrada, we rolled him back. Crawford, we rolled him back. I don't know where those two are going to be at this year. And at third base, even though that Longoria is a better defensive player and has a longer resume, he was about done. So I want to see what David Villar has.
So I'm looking at the opening day lineup for last year. Mike Yastrzemski, Brandon Belt, Darren Ruff, Jock Peterson, Brandon Crawford, Wilmer Flores, Tyrell Estrada, Steven Duggar, and Joey Bart. Joey Bart actually went 1 for 3 that day. I think he hit a home run that day on Joey Bart did hit a home run off Alcantara, which is surprising.
Sandy
so the Giants may look
Alcantara.
better on paper. They may look better on paper. Are the Padres better on paper?
Yes, I believe that they are. They're to me, roster wise, on paper, they're one of the top teams in baseball, but they're clearly the top team in the NL West.
Are the Diamondbacks better on paper
Than the Giants? Yeah,
no. Just are they better on paper than last season?
They're about the same. But I actually thought really high of them last year. You know that. I was really high on Arizona.
Yeah,
Corbin is nice, and Alec Thomas is really nice, and Rojas can play. Like, they've got some players. That first baseman, Christian Walker, can hit.
Are the Rockies better?
I don't think so. I think they're
the same?
Yeah.
All right.
I think that they're going to be the 3rd, 4th seed all year in the NL West.
And I do believe the Dodgers will take a step back. I'm actually with you on that one.
And they're still good. They're still really good.
But
like a team with Mookie Betts is going to compete.
But the loss of Walker Buehler, the loss of Trey Turner.
Huge.
You lost Gavin Lux to spring trading.
Huge.
I do think they take a step back.
They're paying
However,
for Bauer to not play.
They are. But they're going to be in on any big-time player that becomes available via trade.
I agree with
that. So that's the thing that they have going for them, and they have that L.A. market. So look, man, I'm excited for baseball to be back, man. I truly am. I'm excited, but I get more excited about about fantasy baseball in the league with my buddies to follow other players from other teams than I do the Giants and looking at this lineup and like again, I just have a problem with the way we talk about them. the way we talk about them is we can't be super critical about them, even though it's been 5 years of Farhan Zaidi. And nothing that he said has come to fruition.
I think you can be critical, but on opening day, there's just a level of optimism that I wake up with where the sun comes up and it feels like anything can happen. Like, again, I go back to who would have thought Ty Block would beat Clayton Kershaw 2 times in like a 7-day span, and on opening day 1-0 a few years ago. And that didn't lead to anything significant, but it's like that's what opening day produces.
All right, so what's some of your favorite opening day memories?
What are some of mine?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at the top of the list, this isn't my favorite, but it's one of the funniest ones of all time, is the day that Bumgarner hit the 2 jacks against Arizona, and Mark Melancon, a high-priced free agent, comes out and blows the save after not stretching with the team on opening day.
Damn, that's a hell of a memory. That's a hell of a
Do you remember
moment for
that?
you. No, of course I remember that.
I mean, that was crazy.
I was cutting highlights at the other station for that game.
I remember Edgardo Alfonso had a big game one year as the starting third baseman. Remember when they brought him in?
Yep.
The opening day at AT&T Park.
What about last year? What about last
Kevin
year?
Elster?
What about last year? What about last year when Brendan Bell came in on a boat?
Why you gotta go there?
What do you mean?
That's embarrassing.
The captain.
Why you gotta go there?
I mean, in that
Love it.
one specific moment in time, if you're living only in the present, it was kind of cool. If they don't win 81 games, if they win 90 games last year, we're probably still thinking it's cool. It just, after the way the season went, it just kind of got lame. But in the moment, it was cool. And, Ruff was on the move. Always a great call.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah, who was your first pick, Montana fantasy draft? So I had 3 keepers: Trey Turner, Julio Rodriguez, and I kept Tatis. So Loveman, what's your favorite opening day moment?
I got to go back to 2010. That was the last home opener I made it to. Giants won in extra innings over the Braves to go to 4-0. I think Aaron Rowan got the walk-off hit there. And you're thinking, yeah, Giants, last undefeated team in baseball, 2010. Woo, things are going to go great. And you know what? Things did go great.
They did go great. You won the division on the last day of the season against the Padres.
2007.
They won some other stuff, too.
2007, final year for Barry Bonds. Do you remember that at all?
Was it the year they played? Did they play the Padres opening day?
Played the Padres.
They got shut
opening
out
day.
by Jake Peavy. Is that the year?
7-0
I was
game.
at that game. Barry Bonds actually stole a base.
Look at you.
He stole a base. I sat there, me and Andrew Payne, my guy, Little B. We went to that game. He's like, Bonds, let's go to opening day. They got shut out 7-0. Zito got shelled that day.
43-year-old
Yeah.
Barry Bonds.
He
That
stole
was
a
his
base.
Zito's first start in the Giants
Yeah, I
uniform.
know. And he got rocked.
Yes.
It
I
was
had
awful.
such a bad feeling walking out of the ballpark
I remember
that day.
going to that game, and Barry Bonds looked so fast stealing second base.
43 years old.
Yep.
Last time a Giant, I think he had 27 or 28 home runs that time. Let me give you the lineup real quick. 2007, can you name any of the starters?
So you had Barry
2007,
Bonds.
Giants, Bonds' final year.
Ray Durham.
Ray Durham at second base,
Yep, Ray Durham
batting
at
behind
second.
Barry Bonds.
Yep, Ray Durham at 2nd. Who was at first?
Oh,
Oh, boy. Who was at first base?
let me give you a guess.
Give me a guess.
35.
Oh, my God. Ryan Klesko?
He's
Rich
coming up at
Aurelia,
8:30.
who's coming on at 9:20.
Richard Rio was playing first base that year?
First base.
What? He was back?
Playing first base.
I don't remember
Salt
that.
and pepper beard.
I don't remember
All right, here's
that.
your lineup. Dave Robertson center.
Yep.
Omar Vizquel at shortstop, who was replaced by Kevin Franzen later
Mm-hmm.
in that game. Barry Bonds batting behind him. And then Ray Durham, Rich Aurelia, Benji Molina, everyone's favorite. Pedro Feliz, Randy Wynn, and
Yep.
on the mound, Barry Zito. Listen to some of the pinch hitters and the other pitchers in this game. Lance Negro, Kevin Correa, Ryan Klesko,
Yeah.
Todd Linden, and everyone's favorite Steve Klein and
Yep.
Vinny Chulk.
Yep.
Remember Vinny Chulk?
I do remember
Had a little
Vinny Chulk.
punch.
They
Can we,
got,
can we just take a minute to acknowledge the fact that Ray Durham was the cleanup hitter, and when
Ray
that
Durham was
happened,
sick, though, bro.
no one was balking at that.
Oh,
Ray
dude.
Durham, the former leadoff hitter, was the cleanup hitter for the Giants on opening day in 2007.
That opening day was so depressing. It was like, oh, they're not contending this year. Oh, Barry Zito, you gave him $126 million. Oh, that's not going to look like a good signing. That's your ace. He got lit up. Barry, you knew he was basically on the way out. That was a rough year. And that was a rough opening day. Gosh, that was terrible. That was awful.
I believe Benji Molina was the Willie Mack Award winner that year, but I could be wrong. I'm going to have to look that up.
Probably. I mean, those are some dark days.
Benji was
for Giants
sick, though, for
baseball.
the Giants.
Benji was nice.
He had a couple nice years.
It actually was bittersweet that he got traded that year Buster came up.
Well, I think that we kind of forgot how good he was for the Giants.
He was a
a
really
fan
good
favorite,
Giant,
dude.
and he still is a fan favorite.
I
He
love
comes back
Benji.
all the time.
Yeah.
So favorite opening day moments. Let's be positive.
Terrible defensively.
Let's be positive, because that's what the Giants want. Let's be positive.